Greetings and good morning, everybody. It is a fantastic Friday out there. Welcome to November 7th, 2025. And as some people have already said, happy birthday to me. It is my birthday. We'll be having a birthday stream today after Friday Night Tights. So if you watch Friday Night Tights, keep an eye out. And I want to say thank you to Eric K., who gifted me a super chat. Thank you, my friend, for my birthday. I have to tell you, when you get to be this age, you think you're something will instantly change. I think you think that throughout every year of your life when you have a birthday, but the only thing that has happened along the way and over the course of the last 5 years that I've been here on YouTube and on Rumble, because I grabbed Rumble like when it first became available. I was on lots of platforms. Platforms come and go. You guys don't. You guys stay and hang out and spend important time with me, an important time together, and I appreciate that. So, not to be too overly sentimental, you guys are the best, and I appreciate you. So thank you to Eric K. and to everybody else who's wishing me happy birthday today. So I hope you guys show up and hang out. I'm going to invite some of my friends on the show. Hopefully they can show up and talk to you. We do have plenty to talk about. I mean, there's stories I want to hear other people's opinions on. I want to hear people's opinions about Grand Theft Auto 6 being delayed again a full year from now. That's how awful it is. Just to remove all the woke, politically correct baloney sausage that the company opted for and opted to get rid of the employees that really do make quite a difference. I want to say thank you for everybody that wishes me a happy birthday. Thank you, Ruby Hoove. I really do hope you guys are doing okay. Worry about you. Yeah, I appreciate the super chat, Ruby Hoove. I'm excited though. We have 17 stories to talk about, and then a bunch of things. Hopefully, we talk about during the birthday show, because I like I said, I need people to bounce some things off of. Because there's been a lot going on that we just haven't had time to cover. Kim Kardashian has a television program that everybody hates for good reason. It's awful. Bob Iger's talking about Succession finally, and the fact that he's going to be replaced. And if they do the obvious politically correct thing, Disney's officially done. It's over. And that's that. We got another birthday wish here from my good friend, the Common Nerd. What's up, buddy? For $2 says, or $1.99 says, happy birthday, my friend. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And you didn't have to send a super, you guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, the birthday stream's later today, but I'm looking forward to hanging out with y'all. Brian the Max here. Look at all these great people hanging out today. See, this is why I love doing this. I love doing the show. This is the best retirement gig you could possibly have. Kremlin, what's going on, Kremlin? Good to see you. And Putin's cat is making great memes. Used a video meme of his yesterday. You guys are great. Man. Longest Parsec is out there. Everybody was talking about their cats today. I was like, that's amazing. And of course, Longest Parsec sends a super. Says, happy birthday, Culture. And on your birthday, I give you Garden Pro, a bear suit for today. Hey, thank you. And thank you to all of you. Let's just say this. There's a lot going out in the world. It's the 6 Minute Daily. We've started. And so is Comcast. Comcast is working with people that'll help them fund acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. They're also going after ITV broadcast business, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But could you imagine if they go about acquiring not only the international brand of ITV in the UK, but also get Warner Brothers Discovery? They would be the biggest player. They would actually exceed Disney's size. And yet, I think Paramount really wants to do that first. Nexstar is not doing much of anything, courtesy of a 23% fall in Q3 as far as ad sales goes. CW has narrowed the losses. Their acquisition of CW was probably one of the boldest things I could see done by a mid-sized company, and it's really worked out well for them. But you got to be bigger and better. I don't know if that's possible. Duffer Brothers respond to Millie Bobby Brown's David Harbour bullying claims because, well, everybody knows about it now. And It's pretty wild stuff. I really wish it didn't exist, but going into the end of the show, season 5 releases in theaters and everything that's about to happen, there was no way this wasn't going to come out and be discussed. I want to say thank you to the first Dragon Queen, saying a happy birthday, and the bear suit. So, man, you guys are so wonderful to me. I appreciate it. Condé Nast, the magazine company, fires 4 employees after an incident with the HR executive over Teen Vogue consolidation. Guild calls the terminations illegal, maybe under the given contract. The problem with Condé Nast is they've always been politically a nasty entity, going from a travel magazine for the elite to something else entirely, the acquirer of other properties. And because of their elitism, they probably did believe they could get rid of people as they saw fit. But they signed some weird contracts with the Writers Guild, so we'll see what happens. We'll also see what happens with Blake Lively. Does she have a career anymore? She's making claims of $161 million in damages due to It Ends With Us smear campaign. She's the one that started this whole problem. Her and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, pulling another maneuver to try and acquire the story and the production of this film series, It Ends With Us. Well, it may have just ended her career, at least to me, because of how terrible a person she is. That would be okay. Moving on, of course, we got Peacemaker not showing up until the very end. That's right. The only thing that charted in the top 10, cracking the chart at all, was their season 2 finale. And I have to tell you, after sampling a few of these episodes, this is an awful show now. It's a terrible, awful show, and I don't know who it's for anymore. AMC Networks business, their ad and affiliate revenue keeps sliding in Q3. The CEO sees a modern media business emerging, which I can't agree with. I can't agree with at all. We've got Sydney Sweeney out there on being a Bond girl. The rumors out there are really cooking. Oscar contender in Christie. Yeah, she looks amazing. What a transition. And defying the sex symbol label. She says you shouldn't have to hide or cover up in any room. And boy, did she show us that the other night in that particular see-through dress. I'm sure you've all seen it. Comcast Sky, that's right, is in talks to acquire UK. TV giant ITV. We talked about this a moment ago. The media unit is willing to throw $2.1 billion at it. That's insane. That's insane. But like I said, if this happens, Comcast is the new leader in the clubhouse when it comes to media businesses, beating out Disney, which I find insane also. Musk could become history's first trillionaire. He's going to become the world's first trillionaire, as Tesla stockholders approved his giant pay package, and I don't think a judge is going to be able to stop this one because it was hard fought. We're in a no-hire job market, leaving unemployed in limbo as threats to economy multiply. That's true. A lot of corporations aren't hiring people anymore, at least not now. We've got travelers facing a terrible Christmas with cancellations and frustration as the FAA orders flights cut due to the shutdown. You want to fly safe, right? I do. And finally, Trump is ramping up a new effort to convince the skeptical public he can fix affordability worries, particularly in real estate. I think that he can. Scam centers throughout Asia, especially India, seem to be all the rage these days, despite a lot of crackdowns on the illegal industry. And I mean, you know, anything with a country code that isn't US is not something worth answering or responding to. What to know about China's newest aircraft carrier? Well, it's probably going to sink. I think they had a surprise by the US military about a week and a half ago, and I don't think they're feeling so confident about this giant electromagnetic launcher of planes. We've got a 208-year-old publication that will be ending. The Farmer's Almanac will cease publication after 208 years, after the 2026 edition. And finally, our friend the polar bear here. This is a 1,400-pound pumpkin donated for his dinner. They absolutely love pumpkins. Look at this guy. Look at him on this pumpkin, just going to work. They love it. This is a regular event. People donate their giant pumpkins all the time. The world's largest land predator is 1,200 pounds of bear, and this pumpkin is 1,400 pounds. pretty neat stuff. All right, we got to get to a lot of super chats, a little bit of bonus time, and then the big show, the birthday show later in the day. All of your nice wishes for my birthday are incredible. I want to say thank you again to Eric K, moderator extraordinaire. I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to the First Dragon Queen, who dropped a video review 2 days ago. You guys should go check out her channel, the First Dragon Queen, saying, in honor of your birthday, I give you Garden Pro in a bear suit for today only. He makes his debut soon. Hugs to all. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. And of course, we have, this one from my pal, Walter Tomaszewski. Says, won't Comcast buying WBD trigger an antitrust? Yes, unless they manage to get rid of the components that would create conflict, which would be broadcast networks. Specifically, broadcast networks. That would be the stuff. One of the reasons why I think that it won't is because they don't have a national network at a national network license or any of that I can think of that would conflict. Warner Brothers Discovery is just a provider of shows and content outside of their cable efforts. I don't think they actually would pose an investigation threat, but possibly. They could possibly be seen as a monopolistic practice. That's a possibility as far as antitrust goes, controlling so much of the market and so much of the material in the marketplace. But again, I don't know that it would trigger that immediately. Like I said, Paramount, CBS, they could do it. They would probably get some scrutiny. But again, as you point out, everybody's going to get scrutiny that buys this. That's a giant media entity. I would be okay with that, though. And once again, Ruby Hoove provides a gifted Culture Casino membership. Thank you, dear, very much for that. I think I missed this one because SFXF314 Sabretooth Raptor is in the house saying happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hoop-de-doo, hoop-de-doo. May your day be pleasant. Binky the Clown Limes, have a great birthday. Thank you, my friend. And Barry the Music Man wishes me a happy birthday as well. Thank you, Barry. We got an incredible gift, a gifty from L. Bird, gifting 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you very much. Look at all those names go green. We love it when that happens. And as I acknowledged during the stream, Ruby Hoove, thank you for the birthday wishes and the $2 super chat. Thank you to Troy Pacelli out there. Happy birthday, Culture Casino. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for all your generosity and sustained support. And our friend who rates specialist says happy birthday for, oh my goodness, look at these super chats rolling in. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. We've got Kit Kat with a Kit Kat, still one of my favorite pictures ever, saying happy birthday, Culture. Thank you. You guys, seriously. Okay. Don't feel compelled to do this during the actual birthday stream later today. Please don't. I appreciate all the generosity. I truly do. And it's not every day you turn the speed limit. So turning 55's weird day. Lee Kendler says, happy birthday. Lee Kindler says, happy birthday, Culture. Enjoy your 25th year on this planet. Boy, do I wish that was true. Add 30 to that, my friend. And the wonderfully avatared Teddy sends a very generous $20 super duper chat for happy birthday. Thank you, Ted D. I love that, by the way. I think very creative. You guys all have very creative names and avatars and everything. I always find that fascinating that people can put a level of detail and their personality into their avatar. I think that's really cool. Mine's always been fairly plain images of me by very talented artists because, I've been told that I am not very hyperbolic and all of that. I missed one, huh? It's Komagoan. Good to see you, Komagoan. Says happy birthday, Culture, with his membership message. He's a Rewards Club member for 4 months. Thank you, Komagoan. And you guys are just so generous. It's insane. L, thank you very much for those gifties. I love it when I see more people's names go green. Snakes is in the house. Snakes and Funerals says for 15 months of membership. Wow. Happy B-Day to CC. And my fiance, Nikki. Really? It's Nikki's a birthday? Well, happy birthday, Nikki. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Hey, Razorburn. What's up, buddy? And Grim, otherwise known as Inferior, is in the house. Good to see you. I'm scrolling. Man, thank you so much, your 8 specialist. Seriously. And keep working on your memes, dude. You guys, the meme patrol is fierce right now. You guys have been killing it. Absolutely. Timothy Tillery says, happy birthday to you. Thank you, Tim. Dr. Richard James is in the house. Greetings from Midtown Manhattan for now. Oh, boy. All right. Please be safe in New York. I have been led to believe by very reputable sources that New York is a crime problem. So do be careful and be safe. And I hope you have a safe flight back. We got the Weatherman in the house gifting a Culture Casino membership. Thank you, Weatherman, which went to Dave Banks. All right. Cat Slave says, 55, I turned 69 last July. You're still a kid. All right. And Magnify, my friend Tom says, CC beat me to 55 by a week. That's right. We share very close birthdays. We also share very close birthdays with Ron from Follow the Bradley's Fun and several other people. Apparently, my landscaping people have decided to make a bunch of noise. Hopefully, you guys are not being disturbed by that. Oh, thank you all so very much for your kindness and your generosity and your well wishes on this day. And it's important. That's why I always sing to you guys for your birthday. It's a big thing. And Komagoan says the famous gifty, gifty, gifty. That's right. Yeah, Lorena's birthday was yesterday. In fact, I actually sent one of my shows over from my show to Lorena's show. Hopefully you were part of that group and got a chance to say a happy birthday to Lorena, my internet cousin. I love her very much. Can't wait to see her here in Florida in the very near future. So, yeah. Look at all these wonderful people. You barely can hear it for a second. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I actually had them start early this morning. They were supposed to be done by now. No sound issues. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. It's just, the gas powered lawn equipment, just crazy. Yeah. Oh, hello. And Karen Hawkins says the amazing happy birthday, CC, from here in the UK. Oh, man. I wish I could give you guys in the UK a birthday present and my friends in Canada and remove all the socialist WEF garbage from your countries. I really wish I could do that. I truly do. Caradwin, thank you for gifting a Culture Casino membership. Gifty! JG got that one. Thank you for that. Lombardi, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. And Canadian Spider-Man says, doing your own yard work is good for you, Culture. I agree, but I've been so focused in on the gardening right now and planting and building more beds and things and getting ready for rehabbing one of the greenhouses and building another one that just ran out of time. And it's starting to look rough. And, I like to be kind to my neighbors and not have them have to look at an eyesore. So, and I like doing my own work. I got plenty of equipment. In fact, I bought myself for my birthday a new piece of equipment, which I wouldn't have been able to do without you guys. So thank you again. And Cat Slave over on the Green Machine was very generous with a $5 donation rant saying happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Hey, Jeff. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you. Hope things are going well for you, man. Canadians want socialism? No, you don't. Time to get the heck out. Well, I mean, if that's the case, maybe. We've got the Delaware beer drinker in the house. Make sure you have a couple beers today, CC. Actually, I have saved two of my bootlegged Yinglings that I'm going to have with my dinner. Normally, I would have a red wine and preferably a Pinot Noir with steak, but I'm having a steak dinner tonight, so I'm going to have two delicious Yingling beers. Again, I have to bootleg them to get them here. Robert, how you doing, buddy? Is today the day? Very soon, my friend. Very soon. Oh, and by the way, it's good to see you. I've been missing you, man. Hope you're doing well. What else is happening? People want the theory of socialism. Ooh. Seldom the fact of it. No, yeah. Usually starvation and death happens on the heels of any movement that ends in socialism or communism. It also ends lives. Hundreds of millions at times. Take a close look at China, the Chinese Cultural Revolution, which is what they've been trying to pull here in the States for a long time. But yeah, wild stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Lombardi! Greetings, Putin's cat. Good to see you, Lombardi. And there's that. Muted or mumbling? I don't know about that. I think I'm speaking quite clearly. Our good friend Griffin's View. Hope you're doing well. I really do. November 7, 1492. The Ensisheim, that must be a scientist's last name. Ensisheim uh, meteorite struck a wheat field near the village of Ensisheim in Alsace, France. It's the oldest meteorite with a known date of Europe. Really? I did not know that. Thank you for that. I think we've been hit by a lot of rocks in the past. I do not want to be hit by the Atlas thing. So we'll see. The Delaware beer drinker says, my favorite is Dogfish Head. I'm spoiled with good IPSs. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a decent IPA, though. You look like you had Mick McConnell episode. No. Just reading the chat. I have to do that sometimes. You guys are the best, though. I love it. My good friend, me and my monkey, has been here for a long time 14 months. Wow. Says, hey, happy birthday, Culture Casino. Well, thank you, me and my monkey. Jeff Helms says, Putin's cat, Venezuela was one of the wealthiest countries in South America before they went to socialism. That's very true. I could point out Norway, but I mean, what's happening there? Just daily bombs. So, yeah, they're good. They're all really good. Ted D says, I'm a wine drinker. I am most of the time. A glass or two of wine with dinner. Pretty good. I have family members that are vintners, have their own vineyards. So I have been exposed to lots of wine in my life. Let's see. Yeah, Cuba was also pretty wealthy before they ended up with Castro. Oh, they were pretty wealthy, my friend. They were kind of the Vegas of the Caribbean. So, by the way, greatest place to get classic cars. Let's see. Norway isn't really socialist. um, talk to Andre. They have social programs, but are very much capitalist. Well, they actually have a decent degree of capitalism in them, but they're very socialist, and they can't afford to be because they invested in their energy infrastructure and production capabilities, and that really kind of changed their outcome. That's why they have a sovereign wealth fund, which we're going to be starting here in the United States. So, yeah, that's something people don't talk about. But I talk about stuff. Talk about a lot of stuff like this. Archer Merchants super duper chat. Thank you, Archer, saying a fun morning to you, good sir. And many colleges, including New York's, have been pushing the ideology, and now they have to deal with the consequences imploding. I think New York's in for a rough go. And, I think Putin's cat mentioned that, if people leave, then you guarantee defeat. Yeah, because you're going to push out all the people who you're trying to steal from. Because to me, communism, socialism is theft, just like I consider taxes to be theft. Kind of like Disney's necessary downgrade on their attractions that they continue to do and in their parks. But you're trying to take other people's work, the results of their work, and give it to other people. You have no right to do that. If there's, I'm not going to hand over my work to somebody else. No, thank you. If I have result from my labor, I'm going to benefit from it. That's what my gardening efforts are all about. I'm growing my own food. So I reduce the influence of the market on my food, and I remove food pressure because I know where my food's coming from. And I know that if I want to eat better and more, I grow more. I work harder at cultivating plants. This is the way that it's been done forever. I think the problem right now is, and I think a lot of people would agree, and I don't really want to spend the next 20 minutes talking about politics, but it seems like we are, is the ability for people to own property. In our founding documents, life, liberty, and the pursuit of property was actually a dominant saying, not happiness. And the ability to own property and the results from it guarantee a pretty decent society. And right now, the younger generations, because of the incredibly wealthy and the incredibly corrupt, and those influenced by the WEF or both, it's harder. The affordability of property has been taken away from younger generations. For the first time in American history, the last two generations are not doing better than their parents. That's saying something. It's all because of different political policies. But again, anything that leads towards a ever growing social safety net takes away the actual wealth of a given society. And you are essentially trying to force charity upon people with those kinds of programs rather than letting that come from uh, an ability that people have and a calling that people have. And the minute that you started demonizing the churches, and I'm not going to even say what denomination, any churches, the minute you allow for that and for the destruction of them and the burning down of them and things like that, you create a less charitable society and you remove the infrastructure from which those charities can operate. So there's that. We have Morgan King. a Rewards Club member for a long time, gifting. Holy cow, Morgan. Seriously, buddy? 50 Culture Casino memberships. That's a whole lot of gifties. Thank you, Morgan. That's incredibly generous, and it does help build the channel, my friend. That's incredible. It's incredible. Thank you, Morgan. You're amazing. You are amazing. I have such a generous audience. You guys are going to get me emotional again. Don't do it. Don't do it. Robert drops $2 and says, "What's your thoughts on box office for The Running Man?" I think it's going to disappoint, and that's sad because, look, Stephen King has written a lot of short stories, novels, novellas, whatever you want to call them. Some of them have been good. Some of them have been turned into film. He's written stuff that people don't know because he used to have a nom de plume that nobody knew. But I think Running Man. Opening weekend, 24 million, maybe top end, probably closer to 20. Overall performance is a different conversation entirely. I think the global performance will be under 100 million, though. I'm really starting to get bummed out. I mean, if you take a look at the opening for several films, those numbers have fallen very far afield. Predator Badlands isn't a good movie, but we'll set that aside. It's not going to make the money they need it to make. The budget for that film was excessively high, 105 million. And it's got some very iffy storylines in it. A romance between the synthetic and the predator, the Yuto or whatever their name is. And it's more pollution of the lore, kind of like The Prey was. It's from Trachtenberg also, so that would explain why it reeks of new garbage, and it does reek of that. And I don't know what movie the fella down in Australia saw, Shad. Shad saw a different movie than anybody else. If you want in-depth analysis of that particular film, watch last night's Thursday Night Throwdown. But I think the box office is in big trouble. I think it will be until we get to Zootopia, and I don't think that's going to be as big a film as everybody's trying to make it. If people are like, "Oh, it's going to be $1 billion film," no, it's not. There's no hype for the movie. Nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about the property, including Disney. If you've seen their new attraction in parks in place of "It's Tough to Be a Bug," it's going to be pretty awful. And I think the balance of the performance for Avatar is going to be in 2026, not 2025, because of its release date. I think you guys probably agree. The end of December was a bad idea. So I think the box office is dead, and I think we won't see relief until April or May of 2026. So those are all my thoughts. And once again, this is a very touching gift of a 50 membership gift from our friend Morgan King. So thank you, my friend. Look at all the names go green. It's insane. I have nothing but blue highlights on my screen with all the people who just got those gifts. And yes, wow, gifties. Indeed. Morgan, gifty. Thank you, Penny. Oh, I love it. You guys are incredible. Unbelievable. Where can one get pork chop seeds? You can't. I wish you could. There's a lot of unhealthy weirdness that goes into synthetic meats or lab grown meats. I don't even want to get into it. I know too much about it. I don't want to get into it. Yeah, Nuremberg. That film does come out. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to see it. So, man, there's so many gifties in here. It's insane. Randall Orser is here, one of our favorite Canadian friends, like Morgan King and many others. Morgan the Kind. That's what I should call him. Force of Light Entertainment just received a gift membership. I'm sure the girls will be happy. I need to call Michelle, actually. And Manolo Rivera received a gift. That's awesome. I've seen these names have been around a long time, folks. So it's really cool. Users of the world love communism, but the problem, you sponge off other people's effort to give them handouts. It's a big problem. It never works. Yeah, I don't care. Why would we be experimenting with a failed system that's failed forever and has driven people to death? At the moment, China's collapsing. You're not going to hear that story, but it is. Production's been collapsing. Production's been falling down. Population is collapsing faster than ours. Their economic situation is dropping. Not that we could ever rely on their numbers anyway. There are a few very smart people talking about the fact that China is going to be in a giant hole in 10 years. It's going to be hard to maintain peace with a country imploding like China. They're going to want to start a war to try to jumpstart their economy and to give their people something to fight for. It's really hard to get people to fight for things in communism and socialism, and especially under the rule of the CCP and Xi Jinping. Eli says, for 6 months of membership, happy birthday, Culture, and many more, brother. Thank you, Eli. Thank you. Here's another problem with socialism and communism and government structured on that and stupid white guilt garbage. A homeowner in Richmond has been told he won't get his mortgage renewed due to the land claim by the Cowichan. This is that native garbage, acknowledgement garbage. No, it wasn't stolen, it was conquered. And the fact that the people were allowed to live is pretty significant because the tribes did not let that happen as often as not, or they would take slaves. This is the problem with neo-Marxist garbage. On top of that, many insurer companies are rethinking the BC market too. Yeah. Land acknowledgement garbage. Sweet garbage. Everybody likes the idea of pork chop seeds. But one of my great friends who just sent this incredibly generous gift, Channel Surf, please say thank you to your lovely, lovely wife, Catzilla. Says CC from Catzilla and I, all theme at to you and the boss. All thanks at you and the boss. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Channel Surf, and thank Catzilla. You guys are just so generous. I don't believe it. I am going to have a birthday stream. I'm going to invite some pals. We're going to talk about issues of the day because there are plenty. I do want to have a lengthy conversation with others that play games today about GTA 6. And I think Rockstar slash 2K has been caught with their pants down, so to speak. Um, and they really didn't realize how much work it was going to take to remove the woke storytelling garbage that was in the game, knowing full well that a game that costs nearly $2 billion, which is what the estimate's going to end up being now that it's headed into November 2026. They didn't realize just how much of a workload they were adding to get rid of that woke garbage. So we'll see. Thank you, Theliato, for the birthday wishes and everyone else. And thank you again to Channel Surf for the generosity and Morgan King for the enormous gift of gifties. So I really do have the best audience and the best wrenches and the best chat on the planet across platforms. I appreciate all of you, no matter where you are at this moment, whether it's on the red side of the equation, the green one, or even over there on X. It's good to see you. And thank you for your contributions to the show. Yeah, it's a big ouch, Robert. I think the box office, and I've said as much. I'm going to keep saying it. I think it's dead. I really do. I think there's a chance for a comeback, but I don't think it's until spring. Yeah. Morgan King, the warlord or the man of peace, for 42 months says, "Happy birthday, Culture." Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here so long and being such a solid supporter and being a member of the channel. Global under 100 million. Well, they're projecting a global entry on open for Predator Badlands of 63 million, I believe. 50% fall off being kind, and 50% after that. It could just top 100 million, but they need to make almost 300 million to break even with that film, Predator Badlands. It's dead in the water. It's going to lose. It'll lose at least 100, if not 150 million dollars, Robert. Yeah, I think you're right, Putin's cat. I think the realism that's coming into this and something that's closer to the book is good, but the book's ending is terrible. And that's one of the reasons why Running Man was substantially changed throughout, is because the ending's bad. So if they go with the same ending as is in the book, that's going to be terrible. But it will definitely be realistic. So, yeah. Eating raw pork might develop seeds internally. Yeah, not the kinds you want. Be riddled, your body riddled with worms, including your brain. So, Lightning Sketch is in the house, the wonderful person of positivity. I appreciate Lightning Sketch for an outlook that's more positive than mine a lot of the times. But I'm more positive about the industry than a lot of people as far as Hollywood goes. I think they're going to be downsized substantially, and only a few nameplates for the studios will survive. But I think we'll still have a human run industry. I think the shortfalls of AI writing and production, I think those will be readily and easily identified um, in the next 2 years. Because despite the fact that we're seeing astronomical growth in AI ability and understanding, at the same time, I think we're also seeing substantial pitfalls and limitations, and nobody wants a homogenized Hollywood. You have to have variety. You have to have a different approach or fresh approach to older ideas. You have to massage one of the 7 stories into a different kind of storytelling. And I don't think you can get actual creativity out of a machine. You just get a variety of iterations that is studied from other places. And eventually things would just feel like you're in a sea of same. But let's actually read the super chat from our friend Lightning Sketch, who sent the $5 super chat. Says, I think Pixar's 2027 Gato will be a hit. I think you're right. And will signal the return of Disney 2D. I think you're right. Since it'll be a blend of hand painted look with 3D. Yeah, I think you're right. I think your speculation and your question, I think you're right. I think Gato has a chance. They do. I think Pixar is in the process of reinventing itself. I think the pulling out the terrible lady that was leading Pixar was a good choice. A little bit of shuffle up for, I guess technically she left Disney Animation, but she was kind of over everything there. I think Disney is going to have to find that they have to get rid of a lot of activist hires. And I think we'll talk about it later, I think, but Bob Iger being forced out is going to be the best thing that ever happened to Disney. I think that Dana Walden getting in his position would be the biggest catastrophe after a big success of getting rid of the IP destroyer, the IP buyer and destroyer. Iger destroys things in 10 years. And following up with a neo-Marxist activist like Dana Walden, a Kool-Aid drinker, a real true believer, would be devastating to Disney. And I think Larry Fink needs to move on. And I think that the president should suggest that to him because he is about as corrupt neo-Marxist as you will find. WEF douchebag. And he has the potential of causing a massive entity in BlackRock being caught with their pants down because of regulatory violations that they most certainly have done for years now, even more so in the last year. And he's also co-runner, co-CEO, or whatever you want to call him, co-leader of the WEF now. Not to mention the fact that he's one of the people that have destroyed affordability for homes for young people. If you're looking for an enemy, Larry Fink single-handedly could qualify for that role. But Blackstone would be in there too, and the leader of Blackstone's doing the same thing. They're buying giant housing packages called real estate investment trusts and running the cost and affordability of homes right out of everybody's opportunity. They've been doing that for years now. Blackstone gets involved in a lot of different types of scandals and schemes. They're pretty terrible. Vanguard's not much better. All of these entities have been corrupted with these activist ideologies. Not to mention the 13 families, but that's a different conversation. We've got Archer Merchant again. Also, happy B-Day and keep up the good fight. Thank you, Archer. I appreciate it. All of you guys. I appreciate a lot of the folks here that are very positive. I like that approach to things. We don't have that. Matzo Balls, Culture, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you and to everyone in the chat. Indeed. We got another message here from Cuddly Cat Wings for $2. Happy birthday. Get all the hype when available. Hey. Yeah. Or sell all the hype. Man, my glasses are dirty, guys. I apologize. And Lightning Sketch follows up with a happy birthday as well. Thank you for the 199. Happy birthday. Sorry, I love saying that. I just do. 199. Yeah. And then, of course, I like the emphasis Jeremy puts on 50. Speaking of which, man, there's some people I don't get to see very often. I don't know. Unacceptable behavior. Actually, it's unacceptable views, but same thing. Unacceptable views. If you think you can own a house try not paying your taxes and see how much you don't own anything. No, that's true. In fact, I think one of the greatest set of statements by leadership recently, including the governor of Florida, Mr. DeSantis, he's all for it. Wait, you bought your house, you shouldn't be paying property taxes on it forever, and certainly not if you own your house outright. And he was talking about the elderly population of Florida, but I agree with him wholeheartedly. Um, Again, if you have a consumption tax that's designed to, not touch staple items like food, like actual food, not soda pop and other garbage. But I think that's a better way to tax people is through consumption. I'm not just talking about just food. I'm talking about everything. Like, I'm going to go consume a movie. I'm already paying sales tax, but sales tax and all taxes should be reworked. You know, and then if you end up with a Fed, an international global entity that's trying to elevate economies, which they don't do, they actually destroy them and try to control the various countries around the globe. You wouldn't want to influence too much because you could put everything into Hades, and then they'll really come for you. Today is my birthday. Indeed, matzo balls. Happiest of birthdays. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Channel Surf corrects. It was all the best to you and the boss. Thank you. But I was on my phone, and super chats get constantly jumped. They do. And you know what? I kind of figured it was some kind of sentiment like that, my friend. I can't wait to see you. Hopefully I get to see you in Vegas this time around. Try to connect ahead of time because I know we wanted to try to do a dinner thing. So, Katzlev says, well, thank you for the entertainment. You bet. What time is my show tonight? I haven't put it together yet because it's going to be on the same streaming system I'm using now, and you can only put one in the system if you're using Rumble, which I am using, obviously. So I'll put it up right after FNT. So I'll probably put it in place before they end, but I'm going to guess if you look at Pacific time, maybe 3 p.m. Pacific time would be my guess. We should 6 Eastern. So Kapla. Member of Crywin says member of. I need this. I got to clean my glasses. Of Qualapu Nation here. Okay, we're doing all right. We just assimilated, and vice versa with our conquerors. Indeed, and that's just the way the world had been up until very recently. And I have Native American roots. I have genes, and much like toxic man flu. And I look back at the various tribes and the warfare between the tribes and everything else. And it just kind of was the way things were. You conquered what others had in order to have it for yourself. And that was just society at the time, or those particular civilizations. Now, I like that I don't have to worry about my neighbors next door. I like civilization as it is. And I think most people do. They benefit from civilization as it is. But yeah, completely different time periods. I think we need to accept that. Jan Monroe asks a very important question. How bad does a movie season have to be that the only movie trailer I've seen in light is for Hugh Jackman, Neil Diamond movie? Really? It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You have to remember right now, advertisement overall, including in purchasing, is down 40% for everybody. Um, it's hard to spend. It's hard to spend capital on advertisement right now when you're producing such garbage that nobody goes and sees the stuff that would pay for the next thing. I think the reason that Warner Brothers was successful in the last quarter, specifically in film, was because they released things and they kept it for a specific reason and in a specific number of days in theaters. I think their biggest mistake was pulling Superman out of theaters early and getting it out of the way for a Peacemaker show that didn't crack the top 10 in ratings until its final episode because nobody liked it. It was complete garbage. So Brian, you are 100%. I do have good people here. You guys are incredible because you have a great show culture. Keep up the great work. Happy 55th. Thank you for that. I think that's Brian and Cindy, but I'm not sure. I hate this @ symbol stuff, guys, very, very much. And Cynthia, good to see you, dear, says that Hugh Jackman movie is literally the only trailer I've seen in months that made me want to go hit the theater. I have to ask a question then. Have you guys not seen the Michael trailer for the Michael Jackson movie with his actual nephew, Jafar, playing him? I think the only issue is visually for this is the nose is not right. And we know why. He had a lot of nose work done. Jeff Helms says, and this is solid, Stephen King can't write endings. He even admits it himself. His best ending was 11/22/63, but he acknowledged his son came up with the ending after he let him read it before he published it. Yeah. And he was also a prolific writer. He was the horror guy but that was just hammering out pages and pages. What's the guy that came up with Scientology? Because before that he was the biggest sci-fi writer at the time. Wrote thousands of pages of pulp a year. What was the name of that guy? The writer of Dianetics. Teddy, you are correct. The WEF is cancer. Caradwin, again. Or wait, no, this is Cuddly Catwing. Sorry. Happy birthday to hype when available. Tell all to hype when available. Indeed. I'm hyping you right now, Cuddly Catwings. Rereading that super duper chat. Roy, what's up? Roy says, happy birthday. You have made hope in our future better by keeping us all informed. So often we only hear the bad news. Yeah, and look, there is a lot of good news in the world. I'm kind of enjoying. Obviously, I'm enjoying the Politico show twice a week, but like I said, maybe not next week, but the following week, I think that show is going to go 5 days a week as a podcast, and I think it's going to get its own channel because I think that's the only way I can continue to do my regular stuff in pop culture. I'm going to take a page out of Jay's book and just make 75,000 channels. So, Fire Chief says, happy birthday. Thank you very much. Culture has great genes. Do you see that reporter that Wokety Woke try to catch Sydney with that stuff? Who did the best video on that? Liberal Hive Mind? No. Was it Benny? No. Josiah did one. Trying to think. There were a bunch of really good videos about the Wokety Woke. I think even Tim covered it. Tim Pool. So yeah. Just got done working out. Awesome. Dengar Renegade. It's a good thing to take care of your health each and every day. So, man, you guys make my day. I have the best audience. Putin's cat saying, "Hey, come see my channel." Yep. Putin's cat does a lot of work on stuff. A lot of great animation style work. I love it. Super fun. I still think that meme from yesterday was great. Yippee-ki-yay, mother trucker. Oh, yes, is Brian and Cindy. I keep forgetting to put that in our comments. I know it's crazy, but I'm like, come on. They just need to fix it. I like seeing Brian and Cindy, and knowing most of the time I think it's Cindy that's actually out there. But yeah. L. Ron Hubbard. Thank you, Jeff Helms. That's the guy I was thinking of. He literally was one of the most prolific sci-fi writers at the time. Thousands of pages of pulp a year. Cynthia says, I haven't seen anything for the Michael Jackson movie. I didn't know there was one in the works, and I'd probably still prefer seeing something about Neil to something about MJ. Look, I'm going to tell you, I can't wait. I love Neil Diamond. Seen him perform live multiple times. Very saddened by his current state. Leif Erikson in the house. Good to see you, Leif. Everybody's like, L. Ron Hubbard, you silly. Yeah. Oh, man, I had a little jitter in the camera there. Peter! What's going on? Look at you guys. You all know that. It wasn't coming to mind. Well, Commander Ed Straker Shadow in the house. Good to see you. Hey, Cuddles, you look fabulous for your 85th birthday. 55th. Commander, I hope you're improving every day, my friend. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, I thought I'll remember Brian, and I will. I'll remember this is Brian and Cindy. I'll try to. Queen Glamazona in the house. Hi, Ms. Pick Cafe. Yeah, I love it that you guys say hi to each other. It's also awesome. It's really, really energizing to see this fellowship we build, our little sphere. And this is incredibly generous from one of the most generous people I know and nicest people, Jillian of the H. This is an enormously generous $20 super chat. I will be on tomorrow with the Salty Nerd Podcast cast bunch. After my show, I'll be going over there. So hopefully you guys will follow me. Happy birthday and many more, Culture. And may your bears always protect your kumquats, from Carmen Sandiego. I know it's so weird. Bro really went all out. There's a lot of things on the horizon. I cannot wait to be working with Pro more closely on some very creative things. So pretty stoked. I seem to be good at growing dandelions. How do I make sure they are their yellowest? Celebrate to the fullest. You know, there are two ways to feed plants with nutrients that are very successful and very quick. The most successful and most quick is with liquid fertilizer that's obviously immediately available to the plant, and you can do it with a small spray bottle. Right now at any A&P or any nursery or any home store or whatever, you can probably find a handful of liquid fertilizers that will immediately improve the plants with bioavailable nutrients. So there's one called Grow. And then if you can't find that, it's in a blue bottle usually, but if you can't find that, find a fish emulsion of some kind. Alaska fish emulsion is very good. It's basically a bioavailable version of, stewed, brutalized fish that you take a tablespoon per gallon of that, put it in a spray bottle, pour the gallon in, as much of it as you can fit in the spray bottle. And then you can apply that follicularly, which means a surface spray. Or if you just have a watering can, you put a tablespoon. If you have a gallon size water can, I should say, you put a tablespoon of that in with the water, which dilutes it enough to make it readily available. And you go to the soil point of the main stem, and you water it in. and that'll really drive the most amount of nutrition um, at the fastest rate into a lot of those plants. But there actually is a special fertilizer you can pick up at any home store that Miracle Grow makes, and I don't usually recommend synthetics, but there's one called Bloom. And if you were to grow your plants hydroponically, there actually is a nutrient blend by somebody else entirely. I want to say it's like a Poseidon or something like that fertilizer. But uh, maybe it's Triton fertilizer. I don't know. It's some kind of underwater god thing. But anyway, that thing's called Grow and not Grow, excuse me, Bloom. And a lot of the people that grow funny lettuce uh, use that in their hydroponic versions of their plants, and it makes massive and colorful flowers. So anyway, just lots of stuff you learn from doing this for a long time. But yeah, celebrate to the fullest. I will actually. I'm going to be building a new cultivator as soon as we're done here. I'm going to start to put together the show for the birthday show, and then I'm going to go build a brand new cultivator, a self-propelled cultivator. Very excited about that. I'm excited about a lot of things. You guys excite me, and you honor me greatly with massive super chats like $20. Thank you, Jillian. And I had another one back here a minute ago from Ruby Hoove. L. Ron Hubbard culture. That's right. Thank you for the $2 super chat. You guys are on fire. Jackie, thank you for the happy birthday message. Much appreciated. You guys were all on top of the name. Why is it that skipped my brain? If the boss were here, I'd be hearing about it. That's like one of her research subjects that she's always working on is Scientology. No one cares about quality. I do. I want to bring you guys the best and highest quality show every day. I care. Denny Gay says, happy birthday. Thank you, Denny. Much appreciated. This is a problem I ran into. Unfortunately, I had when I started YouTube, I had multiple phone numbers, multiple emails. The business just afforded me the opportunity to do that, and so I still maintain 3 numbers, 3 lines, but I don't think it would hurt. I don't think it would hurt. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it would. I'm not sure it would change anything other than maybe with a new channel you can start with a fresh kind of outline of what you're doing. I think oftentimes the reason channels start to slide or not get the kind of traction, and I'm guilty of this as well, is I don't properly identify my entire material. You know what I mean? Because like I have such a broad set of interests that I try to stuff them all in one place. And I think being very accurate in what your channel is focused on with keywords and things like that, I think that that's very helpful. So every once in a while, I would say maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, you should look at your channel description and the keywords that are identified with it and see if that's actually accurate. That might be one good use for AI, to be fair, like ChatGPT or Grok or something like that, is to have it break down that stuff for you. So if I'm, again, take that all with a grain of salt. That's just my personal experience, but yeah. So yeah, I was real sad to hear about Neil, just, he was an incredible performer. You wouldn't even think it, but you ever see him live, it was like, it was nothing you've ever seen. Archer Merchant again for another $5. Man, look at you guys, so generous today. And I love this conversation. These kinds of freewheeling conversations with you guys, best thing in the world. Reading the Comcast deal, maybe they watched the failed Last of Us season 2 if they don't want cable or Discovery parts. I don't think they would have a problem with many of those cable offerings, but as they're getting rid of their own. I mean, that's the whole Versant deal, right? They're ditching out on the things that are, slowly fading away. This is an error I don't want anybody here to make, because we have a established history of the slow collapse of print media and radio. Radio reinvented itself. It became a vehicle, much like, well, all the platforms right now, like YouTube and the rest of them. It became a new vehicle for other things. You ended up with sports radio and talk radio and longer form content distribution in a live circumstance like we're doing right now. So I think that's that's kind of what's happening with cable channels. Cable channels have always kind of, or the good ones have always kind of reinvented themselves. And you have to remember, Zaslav's a master of, reinventing a cable channel. If he sees something that's not working, he retools it like right away. He never delayed. Everything that Discovery was made of got retooled quickly. You don't have a home remodel show that's working, retool it. Maybe you're not building Magnolia again, but maybe you're building something else. And even before Zaslav and his innovation, you have to remember, we created whole network channels, cable network channels like game show TV, and probably the most successful reintroduction of old material was Nick at Night, Nickelodeon. So, like I said, don't look at cable as completely gone forever, or those channels completely gone forever, because I don't think that's actually what's going to happen. I think a lot of them can reinvent themselves, switch up their format, change their presentation style. There's a lot to it, and so I think Versant could have a chance as a separate development. The biggest problem with Versant is they acquired Fandango, and now they're immediately sharing everybody that has any associations with Fandango their material. So I think they're going to lean into the data collection and data marketing and selling people's information. They're going to be an information broker on top of everything else they do. This is why I hate modern media, and I hate the lack of heavy privacy law in the United States. And I hate it for the rest of the world too. But it's a completely different conversation. Just don't think that some of these channels, there will be some that remain. So, yeah, and this is so true. Weatherman's right. Talk radio rejuvenated the radio for a while, and you still have people listening to it. I think one of the biggest losses in talk radio obviously would have been Rush Limbaugh. Guy drove more listeners than anybody else out there. And at times his hyperbole was shockingly accurate for the future. So got rid of cable years ago. Yeah. Most people did. Cutting the cord. You have to imagine this. My house on Sundays, because of my love of football, and even on Saturdays, in this room that I'm sitting in now that became a library and studio, of course, this was full of 12 televisions in this room. I had the NFL package. I could watch all of the games at the same time, one on each television. I could, and I was watching Red Zone most of the time on the biggest TV in this room. I had wine and beer fridge. I had a keg fridge. This room was a place that my friends and I could sit in. At the time, this room was 14 by 28. Now it's 14 by 14. But then I realized I'm not watching anything anymore. Football was less interesting. Everything had gotten extremely leftist politically. and I fell out of love with watching sports. So this room got remodeled into a library and cut in half. So there's that. Awesome one. It's good to see you. A versant sounds like a French pastry. Well, I think it sounds like the result of a French pastry, but that's a different conversation. AVOD is probably where streaming is going. I think you're probably right with that. And I think if they don't go back to the Après menu, and it's a la carte, then I think that they're going to have to go to individual availability. And that might even drive down to just shows. I was very dedicated to the gridiron. College football, I would watch like crazy, trying to make sure I didn't miss who was up and coming. At a point in time, I was wagering on things until I was talked out of the wisdom of that. So, and boy, you are surprised how much money you have when you're not gambling. So, don't do it, kids. Holy cow, we got another super duper chat from Late Night Rabbit. I love that. That's a great name. It was brilliantly conceived. You guys always do that with your avatars, with your names. It's wonderful. Radio should bring back old time serials, suspense, Johnny Dollar, The Shadow, The Shadow. Yeah, I'm with you. Like one of the fun things that causes that nostalgia in my brain is Fallout 4 when you're listening to the radio on your Pip Boy, or if you build a jukebox or a radio or something in a house. By the way, my favorite part of Fallout 4 is settlements. I love to build settlements. Hours of adult Legos. That's all that is. It's just, building your own little getaway. I think that's why Second Life was so popular. That's why people are playing dumb things like Minecraft and stuff too. But anyway, I think the serial programs are something that's missing, and I think there should be more of it. I do. The Shadow knows. So, thank you, Sir Poops Cuber. I hope to see you later in the day. I think you could definitely format this. I think you could put it on YouTube, to be fair. And I think with AI, you could animate for your voice actors. I think you could do that too. We got a super duper chat from Ram Bam 3000 from across the pond, from across the world. Ram Bam 3000 is there. Did you hear about the plane crash in Louisville? The footage is horrifying. Are you talking about the UPS plane? It's pretty awful. Yeah. I want the shutdown to end. I think everybody here does. And I think we need to talk to our Senate and remind them that they can change the Senate rules and get rid of the filibuster and get this thing solved. No more 60 votes. Thank you, Weatherman. Tom, thank you for doing your job, and to the rest of you. And by the way, Miss Pitt Cafe, thank you for all of your efforts. I appreciate it. Got to walk the dogs. Have a great weekend. You too, dear. So tomorrow we're going to have the Saturday morning update somehow post birthday. And then we're going to go to Salty Nerd Podcast and hang out with Kadish and the guys, Mr. Kadish and the guys. So I got to get out of here. I got to get you over to a show that just started with my friends over at thatparkplace.com on That Park Place Live with the extra magic hours. And I think Jonas J. Campbell may be there. So to all of you who are here to celebrate my morning and the morning part of my birthday, I'll just say thank you for all the generosity, the well wishes, and the happy birthdays. And I will be doing a birthday stream, hopefully with a few people. Maybe my friends will come. I don't know. And otherwise, I'll just talk about the things by myself, like GTA 6 and Bob Iger leaving and, Kim Kardashian's terrible show. Does that sound like fun? I think so. On that note, we're going to end with one of your favorite outros. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. For real. And thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes like